As you get ready to head out the door for the day, we're following the day's top local stories here in the Morning Rush. Now we start with the city taking action against an Albuquerque homeowner. This after his neighbors say the events at his home are out of control. His home is near Central and Tramway. APD has responded to the home 4 times this month. The homeowner is criminally charged for not complying with the city code by using his home as an event center. He is now set to appear in court in July. Well, John Hausman, the man accused of hiding the 3 escaped Clovis inmates, allegedly knew about the plan before it took place. That's according to the Eastern New Mexico News. An inmate reportedly called Hausman before they escaped, letting him know of the plan, and they were on the run for 3 days before finally being arrested at Hausman's home. Back here in Albuquerque, MDC says that they plan to have 3 iris scanners installed by mid-July, and they say that this is to ensure that no more inmates are mistakenly released. Now, this comes after an inmate copied his cellmate's appearance and personal information to get out of jail. This also prompted retraining of any jail staff who deals with releasing inmates. Now, the jail staff will also have 2 mobile devices to scan inmates' eyes. Kristen?
Mostly sunny skies across western and central New Mexico. We'll be watching for a few of these spot storms to fire up over northeast and east central areas. As you can see, very isolated in coverage, but some of those storms have potential to be strong to severe. Very similar conditions tomorrow. Most of us with sunshine. We'll keep an eye over the northeast for those spot storms. David?
Well, House Republicans postponed a vote on a compromised GOP immigration bill. This decision comes as more conservatives and moderates are trying to work out differences within their parties on how to address the issue. Now, the Trump administration is looking to the military to house unaccompanied children. Still, there is no clear plan to reunite children who have been separated from their parents at the border. And as lawmakers continue to meet to discuss further immigration reform, as well as what will become the fate of those immigrant families, we, of course, will follow the latest and keep you updated. Orlando's airport will now be the first in the nation to require a face scan for all passengers arriving and departing on international flights. Customs officials say the scans will speed up boarding and get passengers through customs a whole lot faster. Critics are concerned about how the data will be handled. U.S. citizens can opt out of the scans. Well, parts of Texas are still trying to keep its head above water. This is prompting Governor Greg Abbott to make a disaster declaration. Now, that would cover 6 counties hit hard by severe weather and flooding. All available resources are being deployed as Texas is just one of several states experiencing weather woes. Forecasters in those areas say many are at risk of severe storms later today. We'll talk about generosity. It's the largest single donation they have ever made. A group of sorority sisters in Flint, Michigan raised $20,000 to help provide clean water for their neighbors in the community. The sorority says that they felt the need to help after the state budget for bottled water was cut in April. And happening now, firefighters are still working to fully contain the 416 fire near Durango. Right now, the fire is 37% contained at more than 34,000 acres burned. The city reminds people that fire danger remains high, with crews still working to fully contain the blaze north of town. Fire and smoking bans are still in effect on those public lands. And happening this morning, more closures are expected to be lifted. Lake Nighthorse is set to reopen at 7 this morning, and the Durango Herald reports the Durango and Silverton narrow gauge train will also resume service, but it will only make short trips with hopes to resume full service to Silverton by the 4th of July. Now, all of the city's open spaces and trails reopened on yesterday afternoon. Kristen?
Today's Metro Threat Index up to a 4. It's not only those hot temperatures near 100 today, it's also the winds here in the metro. Those winds about 10 to 20 miles per hour coming out of the west in the dry conditions. David?
As state lawmakers discuss how to make New Mexico schools safer, one local district is taking matters into its own hands. Santa Fe Public Schools Superintendent Dr. Veronica Garcia says they have set aside $300,000 to hire 5 additional social workers who will work out of the district office, serving all 30 schools. They also have plans to create an instructional safety video starring students, and officials would also like these practice drills to be held more often. Well, Bernalillo County Commissioner Stephen Michael Quesada is returning to the big screen. Quesada, who's best known for his role as DEA agent Stephen Gomez in Breaking Bad, has joined the cast of 90 Feet from Home. Now, the movie follows a troubled former Major League Baseball player who travels home to confront his abusive stepfather. 90 Feet from Home is set to hit theaters next summer. And the Montgomery and I-25 interchange are next on the state's list for renovations. Now, NMDOT finally is saying that they have the funding to make the big changes to improve traffic flow. Plans call for getting rid of the loop ramp to make room for a fourth lane under the overpass. Now, bids for the $46 million project would go out in the summer of 2020, with construction starting late that year or in early 2021. Kristen?
Time now for a check in your Friday morning commute. We do have some slowdowns. That's I-25 southbound near Montano because of a multi-vehicle accident. We actually have a live look too. You can see traffic is moving, but they still have a couple of those right lanes blocked. Factor in extra time because of right now you're still slow through about Osuna, likely to get a little worse before it gets better. Of course, we'll keep eyes on that.
And in the 2018 NBA draft, the Phoenix Suns chose 7'1" center DeAndre Ayton with the first pick in the draft. The Bahamas native played just one season at the University of Arizona before turning pro. Good news for him. Well, stick around. The 5 facts are coming up in 90 seconds.
Good morning. Golf forecast for today. We're going to start the morning in the 70s. By lunchtime, it's in the 90s here in Albuquerque, looking at a forecast high of 100. So if you're going to be outside for an extended period of time, you definitely want to make sure you're taking breaks in the shade as often as you can. It's hot, dry, and sunny for most of the state. The exception, northeastern New Mexico. A few spot thunderstorms in the mix today, and some of those could be on the strong to severe side. Tomorrow, still warm, still dry, and still looking at a good amount of sunshine. But by the time we hit Sunday, storm system crosses toward north. Once again, this is going to crank up the winds. Temperatures come down slightly, likely to drop us out of the triple digits and more into the 90s as we finish the weekend. So, of course, we'll keep tabs on that for you. All right, time now for the 5 facts. We start with number 5. An annual tradition that began more than 5 decades ago is getting ready to say goodbye. The 57th annual New Mexico Arts and Crafts Fair began in 1962 as a way to support and encourage local art. But after all these years, officials with the fair say that this year's will be the last. They are citing a lack of funding as the reason why. The event is being held at the state fairgrounds and runs this weekend from today through Sunday.
At number 4, as state lawmakers discuss how to make New Mexico schools safer, the Santa Fe School District is taking matters into their own hands, and it's focusing on prevention of school shootings and the mental health issues that precede them. Now, so far, the district says $300,000 is being set aside for the plans. Santa Fe Public Schools does not have its own police department like APS.
At number 3, sunshine from now through Thursday. The winds look to be a bigger issue today and Sunday, and then lighter elsewhere. You'll notice temperatures, though, from 100 today, mid to upper 90s starting Saturday through Thursday with no storm chances in that 7-day forecast.
At number 2, MDC says that they plan to have 3 eye iris scanners installed by mid-July. Now, it's part of an effort to make sure that no more inmates are mistakenly released. Earlier this month, Duin Perez Cordova copied his cellmate's appearance and used his personal information to get out of jail. Now, his escape prompted the retraining of any jail staff that deals with releasing inmates. Jail staff will also have 2 mobile devices to scan the inmates' eyes. Now, once they get the technology into place, jail staff will then scan every inmate that's already housed at MDC. And at number 1, the man accused of hiding the 3 escaped Clovis inmates allegedly knew about the plan before it took place. This is all according to the Eastern New Mexico News. You'll remember that detectives say 3 inmates walked out of the Curry County Detention Center with the alleged help of the detention officer, and they were on the run for 3 days before finally being arrested at the home of John Hausman. Now, according to a criminal complaint filed yesterday, Hausman was told about the plans during a phone call with one of the inmates before the escape. So far, there's no word on any possible charges that he may be facing.
We have a lot more fun coming up on Fox New Mexico. That starts at 7 a.m.
Stay with us.